I was diagnosed when I was 22. So I was a little bit later in life, and I was very poorly, for a while, and I ended up in hospital with DKA. And I remember, waking up in hospital, and the nurse came to me and she said, you haven't been looking after yourself, have you? I said, I don't know what you mean. She said, you're diabetes. I said, oh, I'm not diabetic. And she sort of went, right, I'm going to have to get someone to come and talk to you. And that was sort of my introduction to it. I went to hospital really thinking there was nothing really wrong with me. I had a bug, or I didn't really think it was going to be so life-changing. And then it was a few years later where I started really struggling to control it. And, they increased my insulin, and it was literally just like a roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down. But I was always made to feel like it was my fault that I couldn't control it. It took me a while to get a pump. I'm not gonna lie. And they said, yeah, we'll get you a pump sorted. Which pump do you want? I said, I didn't know there was other types of pump. I thought a pump was a pump, and that was about it. My diabetes nurse, she said, look, we are struggling to control this. She said, I don't think a pump without automation, without a continuous glucose monitor, it's not going to do it for you. You're going to be in the same place as you are with your flash monitor and insulin pens, because the pump's still relying on you knowing how to manage your diabetes. Medtronic have a pump that uses a continuous glucose monitor and takes over a lot of the work. And I was a bit skeptical. I thought, we've got teams of consultants, diabetes nurses, me. I was at my wit's end. I really was, because again, I felt like I was doing something wrong, like it was my fault, And the pump got delivered during the pandemic, and they said, right, we've got your pump, but we can't get the training set up for you. And then they managed to move it online. You've done a virtual training session with us. Even just having the pump not in automation mode made a difference, And I started thinking, there could be something in this. At the time, I had sort of responsibility for my diabetes. And then to say to a machine, to a pump, you deal with it a little bit. Really skeptical, really worried, and went into automation. And I woke up the next day, blood sugar was 9. And then I looked at the graph, on the pump, and I could see all the little auto adjustments that it made. The pump had jumped in, or sort of stood back, if my sugar was dipping. And I thought, yeah, is it a one-off? I just really genuinely couldn't believe that that it had worked. I couldn't, and it made such a difference, because like I said to my diabetes nurse, I said, it does a lot of the heavy lifting. It was a huge burden, diabetes. And I was told, you have to every day push this boulder up a hill, get to the top of the hill. And before the pump, I tried everything I could do to get that boulder to the top of the hill. And it was like the pump sort of came along and said, here, I'll deal with some of that. I'll sort that out. Genuinely, the difference, it's unbelievable for me, I still have diabetes, definitely, I've still got it. But it's no longer something I constantly worry about. It's not a burden anymore, and it was just nice to, it was like it was too good to be true, and it's not, it works, it does the job. And they've said the same, we can't really believe this. I'm in Target 98% of the time, 99% of the time. It was just a big shock for me, a good shock. I wasn't used to good shocks, but a surprise, I suppose. But yeah, it really has changed my life, definitely. Literally just sits on my phone. There we go. that's it, done. You know, no longer sort of pricking your finger. And I look at that and I think, you know, it's got my back. Because you can see, you know, there, little blue lines, it's jumping in with an auto-correction, little gap there, started dropping to the pump and ooh. And that would have been me, you know, trying it out. Again, stressing about it. And the app as well, my partner has it on her phone. So not so much anymore because she's now trusting it. And then she was able to see it. And that's a comfort to her because she knows if she nips out on early in the morning, and I may be having a lie in when I get one. In the past, she'd have been thinking, oh goodness, has something happened to him? Has he had a hypo in his sleep? Is he going to wake? And it was a lot of stress for her as well. And for her just to be able to pull her phone out and go, yeah, he's all right. Even for me, pen therapy, finger prick meters, to automation. It's not just mentally. Well, yeah, it is as well. And you're a bit sharper. And for some strength, I don't know why, there probably is a reason for it. I started dreaming again in my sleep. You know, I never used to dream when I had really poor control. And as the pump sort of went into automation, I remember dreaming, you know, waking up and thinking, you know, what was that? And yeah, there's got to be a link there. If there is anyone out there who is diabetic thinking about pump therapy, genuinely it does work. You know, it's not a gimmick. It isn't too good to be true. It sounds it, but it isn't. And there's obviously a huge amount of work has went into the pump